Guys and gals, it is finally time to go over the grand finals of the Tiny Wars Open Tournament. I am Advanced Warrior.
And I'm CJ.
Oh my god, that was so delayed. And I have, for some reason, just have...
I think it's lagging like a lot, actually.
No, we're starting off the video like this probably. So, grand finals is finally here, no pun intended. But before we begin, I do just want to say thanks, of course, personally to CJ for helping me run this whole thing. And like we did, like, you know, a shared amount of work setting up the games for round one. And I feel like after that, it just slowly drifted into you doing most of the work. And I really do appreciate that.
Don't sweat it. Like, I mean, it's my, honor, privilege, whatever, to do this. It's been really fun. So
you sounded like you were cringing when I said that. You're like, don't sweat it. I'm very thankful to have you with me here, CJ. I'm very thankful.
I'm thankful to be here, like, just, you know, to be on as casting, because this has been super fun.
We had fun casting all of these games. Abreu said something in the Discord like, thanks for doing all the commentary even though you didn't have to. We love doing this. We really do.
Yeah, it's like really fun. Like we sometimes we get to it and we're like kind of tired, but like I usually leave these games pretty energized.
Oh my god, yes.
It's just really fun to do.
I want to also thank all of the I also want to thank all of the players here for participating in this tournament. Whether didn't matter where you were or when you were eliminated, you were the first people to partake in the first ever Tiny Wars tournament that some of us probably never thought would happen, but we made it happen. And thanks to you guys specifically for watching this video. Like, if you didn't partake or if you don't even play Tiny Wars or Days of Ruin but still watched, I'm very thankful for all of you guys for taking your time and going through this whole experience with everyone else. It really does mean a lot when I see these videos like pop off. Maybe not extremely high, but hey, so the numbers that I see, I still count them as pop-offs. All right, CJ.
Yeah, and for the people who stuck around and watched every single one of these,
legends.
Like, that's pretty cool too. These have been 32 games. So yeah, there's a lot
of videos.
I hope you enjoyed all of them.
All right, so let's conclude this this tournament arc, with Plague, the #1 seed, and Icy, who I sadly forgot what seed they're in. So they both...
I don't remember either, but they're pretty high.
Yeah, it is. I forgot to give you mouse control. So we have a mirror match. We have... that's not Lynn. Game. There we go. So we have both players picking Lynn. Boarding cost of 50, zone radius of 1. So it's just the adjacent tiles around the CO units, but all of them, or most of them, are going to get a 30-30, specifically the ground units, where everyone is going to get a 10-10 for not being a ground unit. Ground units get an additional 20%, stacking it to 30. And although it's a smaller zone, you can kind of look at it as will, but they took away one zone size and added in 20 more defense. Which I feel like Lynn is definitely mid to high tier in this game. I really like Lynn a lot. Despite her 1 CO zone, the stat density is just so good.
Yeah, she's very solid, and we'll get into the CO power as well, or the Super CO. She doesn't have a CO power.
No one does.
Super CO power, yeah. Most people don't. But Super CO power, uses the 60 energy, and basically all units get the same boost as the day-to-day. The vision does not matter. since this is standard. But that doesn't make her like any worse of a CO. She's quite good without the vision increase. So yeah, overall pretty solid CO.
Makes sense for this
pretty
map.
applicable in most maps. Yeah.
Because there are no airports,
And-
it makes sense for this map.
Yeah, and I mean, so the reason why we ended up with a Lin mirror is honestly just because a lot of other COs were banned too. Like a lot of the really the ones that I would consider pretty annoying to play against were banned. So there was no Zhao, no Isabella, no Brenner. I don't think there was a Calder, no Tabby either.
Was there a Will?
I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Will was banned, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I just know that the ones that I typically ban were also banned, and I was like, okay, well, these bans make sense.
Yeah.
But,
All right,
yeah.
so both these two.
Because we get a mirror match... Oh gosh, this is so laggy, but...
Oh, sorry. We can still hear
Because
you.
this is a mirror match, and we have, you know, like, pretty solid COs, we get to really see the skill of these two players.
Yeah, we've seen before with the no CO match. Though it's a mirror match, we're still gonna see what these two players can do. They're on an equal playing field, to say the least. All right, are you ready, CJ, for the grand finals?
Heck yeah, yeah.
Let's go. So something I wanted to mention. Wait, okay. Oh, the music took a while. So something I wanted to mention about Lin, using her power is basically like expanding your zone globally. But after that, it was. What the heck?
Yeah, I think you're gonna need to do the pauses, because I am lagging so far
I am
behind,
sorry.
I cannot. Oh, that's what we're seeing here.
That's what we're seeing. Linfantry, ladies and gentlemen. If you've never heard of the Linfantry, it's a meme that we have on the Tiny Wars Discord server where you just put Lin in an infantry and you get 50-50 infantry. Oh my gosh, we were starting like this. Excuse me. That is an interesting play. I wanted to say quickly, superpower, expand the zone to globally, but then you go back to one zone, which is a little bit tricky to regrow it back. But so that means you're gonna have to find the right turn that it's worth. But so we have a Linfantry in the center, and I'm now realizing that both of these players are actually not going directly for the third base.
Yeah, as I kind of talked about in the map review, I think, like, oh wait, Icy didn't go to the center. I guess he was deterred by the Linfantry. But I was fully expecting him to do the kind of, what's it called? You know, he capped the city, and then I was expecting him to bring the infantry in to the lander with the other infantry and just dump both of them in the center. But, yeah, I guess I'm honestly, if I was him, I would have simulated just to see what it would look like, and I would assume that he did so too, and found that it was not worth doing. So, yeah.
I wanted
We saw
to.
that infantry ferried up just a little
Yep.
bit. So
I wanted to mention earlier. Notice how Plague actually had this infantry. I think this infantry went to this tile and then went to this tile. Plague wants to prioritize getting this because you're effectively getting a 2 income lead. This was something that Plague has mentioned to me before about capturing enemy properties just to technically get 2k income. So like even if they're far away, like off in the corner, at least still definitely get those as like a second or third priority because it is effectively 2 income lead. Now I expect Icy to maybe load their tank on the bottom here. So the Linfantry, definitely interesting move. However, I don't feel like it's the best unit long term. it is also taking away the fact that you cannot get a 50-50 tank.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, and the HQs are like nowhere near the front line, so you don't get to use
CO boarding, HQ
you
boarding.
don't get to board like later, yeah.
So
So
was a little unsure, but I think now I do see that that does look like red is supposed to get the left properties, but with that infantry, can't really equally contest that that tank there. So looks like maybe Plague is gonna try to fight for the right side, which I feel like is a little bit of a struggle bus. It does look like the weaker side, but ooh, the infantry is staying, and indirects. I said gauge for this very reason. Oh my god, it's trapped.
I think he's trying to get it killed.
Maybe.
So that he can maybe load a tank at the top, and I think Icy is fine with that. I think he's honestly just doing what he did in the last Dragon Fang game against Xiao Tiantong, where he's just gonna let the CO live so that Plague can't board immediately. On the other hand, I don't think this is awful for Plague either if it still lives, because yeah, now he can get a medium tank and then put it in the lander. Icy's been doing a lot with his one lander so far, in exerting a lot of pressure in the center areas. Yeah, and he's just gonna leave that infantry for an extra turn because, or at least I think he is, because again, he doesn't need to kill it.
It's not a threat.
He doesn't want Plague to reboard. Yeah.
Oh, now it goes for the deletion. It was a very amusing move, Plague, but sadly this turn you cannot board it into that medium tank. You are gonna have to back off here. But yeah, I wanted to mention earlier, with all these pockets of sea that we see on this map, no pun intended, our indirects do have a spot here, and with no air units to fight to attack from those sea tile angles, it makes them a lot more stronger, harder to deal with, of course.
Right. Yeah, and I was kind of underestimating the power of indirects on this map too when we talked about it earlier.
Oh, rocket! There you go.
Hey, with the lander going around too, you can block off some of those beach tiles and create more choke points because those landers don't go down easily, and it's usually not the priority when people attack to attack the lander. I mean, I think you can only attack with indirects anyways. I don't think you can hit with the tank, or at least not meaningfully.
Yeah. Something I do want to mention, the awkwardness of a one tile zone. You're not defending this unit, sadly. That's Lin's only struggle as a CO. Okay, so it looks like we got a mech and indirect push on the left side for Plague. Icy here is shifting to the side. Oh, that tank is not going in the zone. Wonder if where that tank's going to be. Maybe the wasteland with 2 terrain stars? Is it still be covered by that? No, it's not. It's just going to stay behind a wall of infantry. Is he going for the HQ?
Oh, he might be. I mean, those mechs are pushing up. There's a lot of tanks on the right. Yeah, I think it's looking like an HQ push, and Plague is like low-key kind of stuck on that island too. Like, there's not a lot of ways out of there if he can't go out the front. If he goes out the front, he might be pushing too far away from the HQ. So this Plague is trying to take the center because there are a lot of properties there. But at the same time, Icy is getting a little threatening.
Yeah. So
Plague is launching his own indirect push on the left
side. Oh, he's going for it
too. But
it looks like he's going for it. but no full HP infantry though. It's gonna have to be with the 7, but that 7 HP is covered. Plague is nowhere near his HQ. Oh no. The rockets are a deterrent. If the rocket is gonna try to go, if Plague is gonna try to go to the right and do like a pincer on Icy's troops, the rocket can shoot anything that's there, and maybe Icy can just push back and then start doing their own little technical pincer, because the rocket's gonna get a hit, and then the other side is just gonna go in. There's just not a lot of units on Plague's top side. I suspect that lander maybe would transport war tank. Okay, Plague is on the full defensive. As for Icy's HQ, a lot more secured. Like, has units actually on the HQ. Plague's gonna need to do something. Let's see how Icy plays. No, the bike was in reach. The bike.
I'm so far behind. Holy crap.
I am sorry. The bike. I didn't know that bike was in range to the HQ.
Oh shoot! Yeah. What the hell?
It's a full HP bike. Plague. Oh no. Did it get choked out? Oh no.
Oh shoot.
Is this Plague? What you got?
Oh man.
This looks so hard to go through. The four vehicles on the top are covered up. War tank, 6 damage, 4 damage on the other tank. Just getting damage off on that rocket on the bottom. 1 tank, but that tank can't reach. And Plague resigns. Wow.
Oh my god.
Ladies,
what the hell?
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the first ever Tiny Wars Open tournament is Icy. Congratulations to Icy, winning every single game that they've gone through. Plague, congratulations on getting 2nd place. Wow, that was, like I said, this map with the lander can really trick up where you're gonna send your army, honestly.
Yeah, that was... Okay, I was behind a lot, but like, wow, that was... Okay, that was really weird, because, I mean, that was like a really well-coordinated push. Everything was in the right spots for Icy, and it was all very, very intricately planned out. Plague was just isolated for, those last, like, 3 or 4 turns or whatever. And yeah, it just really, really worked for Icy. I don't even know. Like, I'm not sure if Plague saw it coming, or maybe he did. But by the time he saw it, maybe it was like 2 turns before, and that was already a little bit too late. I mean, he did have the foresight to build a war tank, but that just doesn't break it.
So first off,
and
this. Ah, man. It definitely does make you not want to send infantry up there, because this is a 50-50 infantry. I also would like to...
I don't know if... Or... I'm not sure if like the 2 infantry, if Icy did decide to send it, if they would kill... Oh, actually, no, probably not, because Plague would be able to get the first strike on one of them, and that would probably basically make it so he still has the advantage, even if he's going against 2.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I think the correct choice was... I like Plague's move here. I like the idea of boarding the CO and exerting that pressure in the center really early. I think Icy was positioned with that first, city cap to go to the center if Plague did not do that.
maybe.
And then I think Icy had the right response in not going to the center. So, yeah. But in that case, basically, Icy was a little bit behind, for the center properties at least, but then he came back when it really mattered. Like, before the value of those center properties really kicks in, Icy was able to counter-strike with the tank CO. Icy was, like, I mean, I really liked Icy's thinking here of basically, well, Plague did this play, what advantage do I still have up my sleeve based on the fact that he already played his hand?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the CO tank. So
I do want to mention here, well, watch where the Slander was. So, you know, it's kind of in the middle. And then, like, it just, like, shifted. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it did. Pretty sure that's what it did. This Lander here, you would expect to, like, maybe go to the center, but there is a infantry in there. And what this ended up doing was taking this infantry to make it capture this port. Just so many unpredictabilities.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I liked that.
Yeah, it's like
I liked that kind of small observation.
Yeah, it's like you can still get value. You can still get value off of even short movement transportations because they just move so far. Like, basically gave this infantry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 an additional 3 movement.
Turn, basically.
Basically doubled this infantry's movement. And then there was more that this Lander did here. Like, it's all the way back. Like, now all of a sudden it's like all the way back here. You can transport this tank. But instead of putting it here, it actually brought it here.
Yeah, and I mean, this whole time, you know, you have these units that are within range of the Lander. You're keeping your opponent guessing. They have to have the mental strain of thinking about, oh, where can it go? It could go literally anywhere. And I like that. I like these kind of plays. That's kind of why I really wanted to see this map played by top players, because I want to see stuff like that. I want to see good players make the most out of what they have, which is, in this case, just the Lander. Like, the Lander, I could definitely see newer players not do too much to it, or use them really unoptimally, but when you have it in the hands of a good player, like, they do stuff like that. And then you cause your opponent to overthink, overload kind of their processing. It's just hard to predict what they're going to do, hard to really adapt to it.
All right, and oh wow, like the tank shifted all the way over there. This Lander put it here. Oh wait, did the Lander just? Oh yeah, Icy's Lander. Like, you think it's just gonna drop off, and then this one comes back here, picks up another unit. No, it did another push in the center. Yeah, it's just
yeah, that one surprised me too. I was like, oh shoot, like, he's really aggressive immediately.
Yeah, this is why we chose this
really
map.
Making the most of that CO tank, because the CO tank is really strong on its own, and then with the other tank backing up, plus they're already, oh man, that is like too powerful to deal with. Like, you got to get out of there, and he really fully pushed Plague out of the center.
Oh yeah, definitely.
By turn 8.
And of course,
without even like touching him either.
Yeah, the indirects
like, that's
too.
The thing with, yeah, that's the thing with like good players too. Is like, you can like, they don't even have to be like engaging in fights, because they know what's gonna happen. Like, they know that, like, Plague knows if he engages here, he loses. Like, actually, and so you just see him back up. You know, he's playing a move or two in advance. Like, he knows what Icy's intentions are for the most part. Try to take the center, and he has like a solid build up in the center. So Plague has to have his own build up, but he's kind of burdened by that CO unit, where it's really hard. That's another thing, is it's really hard to know when to get rid of your CO. Especially if you've done something like early board onto a on an infantry or a recon or a bike, and that's something that honestly Plague is probably one of the better players at, because he does it pretty often. Like, I would not do it because I could not tell you when is a good time to just delete your unit. But in the same way, Icy is experienced in dealing with that kind of situation too. He's shown it off against Observer in the fight against with the CO Zhao Tiantong, and so he did the same thing here.
Yep. And a couple more turns later, slowly making a... oh, wait, no, he actually shifted back and forth, which was another thing that surprised me about Icy here. And then they, like, stuck around in the middle for a bit, and then here you just saw a big push here. Yeah, this is... I would argue this is Icy's strong side, or, like, naturally should be Icy's strong side, and Plague is... on their side, where the lander would have to put something here to reinforce it as fast as they could. And the defense on the side here, like, Icy already knew they could... they had a strong force here. They knew they could, like, spare a tank and an artillery to, like, defend this side here. And I feel like when Plague... see, Plague is already in a weird situation because the units will have to loop around. There are two sea tiles here, like this little sea tile here, preventing them from going straight to the HQ. If they decide to go in the front, they'll be blasted by a rocket and 5.5 tanks. Maybe 6 because artillery, but whatever. It was not a good idea for Plague to go forward. I would have liked to maybe see Plague... go for an HQ defense, but instead shifts in the middle, trying to reclaim properties. They are actually even in income for now. Plague will actually... Icy was actually going to get like 2k income from all this. But yeah, Plague wanted to fight for the center. Icy knew that's where Plague was strongest, and they made a push for the HQ, and eventually was able to perfectly wall off and defend the bike to capture the HQ. And just like that...
yeah, I would argue like maybe turn 11 or something. I really am not sure when Plague realized that Icy was really going for the HQ cap. I feel like in some respect he might have been caught off guard. And, like, I don't know how far back Icy was thinking about doing the HQ cap, but, like, by this turn, like, I think just Icy's play here was just masterful. Like, I don't know what you do here. He has so much strength, so much flexibility, and Plague is isolated to that island. That island actually sucks. Because of what you mentioned before, you have to loop around, you can't really go forward, there's not good terrain. It's like, I don't know how much these players have played this map either, but, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Icy played a lot on this map, because this one just is really good. Really, really good use of this map.
It's like Icy just sat around in the center, waiting to find a good opportunity to hit. And then, yeah, all this here. Listen, you've got 6 HP infantry and a tank. I'm not trying to crap on Plague here, but a tank and a 6 HP infantry and another tank potentially on the way. Yeah, for me, like, on the level that I am, I definitely would be scared of an HQ cap. The level that I'm on, I would be scared of an HQ cap.
Yeah, and I mean, Plague did build the war tank and stuff, but I think it was just, like, you can't do a lot else in this situation. Like, war tank is the strongest ground unit you can get, so what else are you gonna do? You can't build a rocket because it's too... you don't have enough of defending units up there. Like, I think the best idea is probably go back, but you're giving up the center too. Like, you are... If you go full back to defend the HQ, which he probably should have, you're still losing out on the center, and, like, you're gonna suffocate. So, I don't know at what point this was actually lost for Plague.
I did not notice this cruiser.
But I have a feeling around turn 11 was probably the break point.
Turn 11, you say?
It was just Icy. Yeah, because like that's when Icy just had so much control. Like it didn't really look like it at first, but I mean when you see the results of it all, like I think that's when Icy really had strong control over the entire game.
Yeah, this the ocean tiles here, it can be a blessing with the lander movement, but it can also be a curse to keep you trapped on certain parts of the map as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, in a map like this, I would wonder when people, if ever, would they get a second lander, because I feel like the landers are like really strong here,
oh my god, yes.
I don't know.
You can have consistent flows with 2 landers. But yeah. Icy stuck around in the middle, Plague stuck around on the island. And you know, looks like shifting away from the middle. Plague thought that an HQ cap was only a threat rather than an actual losing condition. Opted to fight back for the center, but Icy has already mobilized and went in for the kill. And just like that.
Yeah.
So, one more time.
Very good game.
One more time. Congratulations to Observer for making 4th place. Congratulations to Adept for making 3rd place. Congratulations to Plague for hitting 2nd. And ultimate congratulations for Icy earning 1st. Does he have his medal yet? He does. Why it says help.
I assume so.
It says help. Winner.
What?
Why does it still say 1? A baby goat. All right. But anyways,
I'm still delayed by like 10 seconds. So
a 10-second delay. I was trying to be slow with you.
I'm really far behind. Yeah.
That's okay. But
It's really bad. But yeah, this has been super fun. Very big congratulations to these players for sure.
Yeah, I still, if you told me like last year or like before I thought of even thought about this tournament, if you told me that I would be running a Tiny Wars tournament, I would have thought that you were crazy. But here we are now. We have reached the ends of this ultimate arc that I hope was something that benefited the community and benefited the players and the spectators, for everyone who took a part in this tournament somehow.
Yeah, and I hope you learned a lot too, because I mean, I felt like I was learning a lot. I felt like I was kind of able to explain a lot of things. Hopefully you kind of learned some new concepts, new ways to up your game too. So
yeah, like where else could you find high level Tiny Wars gameplay? Not a lot.
I mean, I guess you could just kind of, I guess, review the replays on your own of like top players.
Of course, yes.
Or you can join us.
If you enjoy commentary, if you enjoy having commentary with the games, then there you go. Thank you to everyone for allowing us to share our thoughts, even though we're not the top players. We still had fun just reacting to the plays that you guys are seeing as well. All right, CJ, do you have any parting words before we officially close the Tiny Wars tournament?
I mean, I guess it's just thanks again for sticking around watching these games with us. Hope you play more games, hope you get better, and maybe get to join us in perhaps even a future tournament. Who knows? But there's also just plenty of other things going on in the community, different games, different maps being made, all kinds of ways to just hang out, be a part of the community. And yeah, I really just hope that there's more interaction, and that you, I don't know, comment and like the video and all this good stuff. So yeah, that's it.
Tiny Wars is still growing consistently as ever, still getting in new players, we're still getting in new maps, new game modes, I guess. But yeah, if you've joined us, thank you. If you've been with us, we're happy to have you. And I think, am I getting emotional? I think it's now time to officially close the doors on the first ever Tiny Wars Open Tournament, TWO 1. I am Advanced Warrior.
And I'm CJ.
And thank you all so much for being a part of this journey. All of you have our warmest regards.
Thanks for watching.
Ciao, ciao.